What if I told you the Lord of the Rings actors got real injuries that never healed, even years later? From broken toes and cracked ribs to permanent back pain and hearing loss, these stars gave more than just great performances. They gave their bodies. Here are the 8 actors who paid the ultimate price for Middle-earth. Let's start with the actor who literally screamed in pain, and they kept it in the movie. Okay, so everyone knows Aragorn is a total badass in The Lord of the Rings, right? But what you probably don't know is that Vgo Mortonson, the actor who played him, actually broke his toes while filming one of the most iconic scenes in The Two Towers. There's this intense moment where Aragorn thinks Merry and Pippin are dead, and he kicks a helmet in frustration and lets out a loud scream. That scream wasn't acting. It was 100% real.
And I said to Vgo, you know, I'm going to put the camera sort of down the hillside a little bit, and can you...
Vgo had just kicked a heavy metal helmet and broke 2 of his toes on the spot. Instead of yelling cut and going to a hospital, he stayed in character and finished the scene. That's the exact take they used in the movie. But that's not even it. In another fight scene, he got hit in the face so hard that he actually chipped his tooth. And guess what he said? He asked for super glue so he could finish the scene. Like, dude really didn't want to stop filming. The injuries may seem like no big deal, but toe fractures can mess with how you walk for years. And taking hits to the face isn't great either. And while Vgo was powering through broken toes and chipped teeth, Orlando Bloom ended up with an injury that hurt every time he took a breath. Orlando Bloom looked so cool as Legolas, always calm, always perfect with a bow, and always landing epic shots. But behind the scenes, it wasn't so smooth. During The Two Towers, Orlando had a really bad accident while riding a horse. He fell off during one of the battle scenes and ended up cracking several ribs. He later said it was the most painful injury he's ever had. And cracked ribs aren't a joke. Every breath hurts. You can't laugh, cough, or even move without feeling sharp pain.
I was the first one to score an injury. Like the hobbits didn't get the opportunity to fall off a horse and break a rib.
The worst part? There's not much doctors can do for cracked ribs except tell you to rest. But Orlando didn't rest for long. He got back to work pretty fast. They had stunt doubles, sure, but he still had to act, move, and ride horses again while healing. Cracked ribs can take months to feel normal again, and sometimes the pain lingers for years. So while Legolas looked like a flawless elf warrior, Orlando was actually pushing through serious pain. Now that's painful. But cracked ribs weren't the only on-set disaster. Shawn Aston's foot injury was so bad they had to stop filming and rush him to the hospital. Shawn Aston played Sam, the most loyal friend ever. And honestly, he was just as brave off-screen. In The Fellowship of the Ring, there's a scene where Sam runs into the water to follow Frodo. Sounds simple, right? Well, it wasn't. While filming that scene, Shawn accidentally stepped on a shard of glass that was hidden in the water. It went right through his prosthetic hobbit foot and into his actual foot.
About 2 feet in the water, just this huge, sharp pain, and I grabbed onto the side of the boat.
He was in serious pain and started bleeding immediately. The injury was so bad that they had to stop filming and rush him to the hospital. He needed multiple stitches, and the pain didn't end there. Even after the wound healed, Shawn said he had nerve sensitivity in that foot for a long time. Like, he couldn't put too much pressure on it without feeling discomfort. What makes it even more intense is that the prosthetic foot was supposed to protect him, but it didn't. It's kind of ironic that playing a barefoot hobbit led to one of the worst injuries on set. Still, Shawn came back to work after healing and finished the rest of the movie like a pro. But the next guy didn't just play a dwarf. His double paid a massive physical price to bring Gimli to life. Okay, so most people know John Rhys-Davies played Gimli in The Lord of the Rings. But what a lot of fans don't know is that he didn't do most of the stunt work because he had a really bad allergy to the prosthetic makeup. That's where Brett Beatty comes in. He was the stunt double for Gimli. And honestly, he went through hell during filming. Beatty wore Gimli's full costume and armor for hours and hours every day. The armor was super heavy, way heavier than it looks on screen. He had to swing axes, fall, fight in huge battle scenes, and do some really crazy physical stuff that most people couldn't handle. He even carried other actors around during some scenes while still wearing all the gear.
The facial prosthetics that he was wearing, and that everyone else was wearing.
The sad part? All that hard work destroyed his body. Over time, the weight and pressure from filming messed up his spine and joints. Like, not just temporary injuries, permanent damage. He had to go through surgeries and still deals with chronic pain today. Beatty wasn't even properly credited for years. Fans didn't even know how much he had contributed until recently, when he finally started talking about it. He gave everything to the role, and he still says he's proud of it. But at the same time, it's kinda heartbreaking. The guy literally gave up his physical health for a movie and didn't get the recognition he deserved until way later. But while Brett was dealing with heavy armor and spine damage, Andy Serkis was twisting himself like a creature. Everyone knows Andy Serkis as Gollum, the creepy, twisted little creature obsessed with Precious. But what's wild is how much real physical effort went into that performance. Gollum might be CGI, but Andy Serkis had to crawl, jump, climb, and twist his body like crazy for the motion capture scenes. He didn't just stand in front of a green screen and talk. He acted out every movement. That meant crouching down low, moving like a creature, and doing it for hours every day. It eventually took a toll on his body. During one shoot, he injured his finger, and he also strained his back pretty badly from all the awkward positions.
Take, Andy Serkis ripped a little bit too hard and grabbed Sam by the hair.
Over the years, Serkis has admitted that he still has ongoing pain in his back and hands. The finger injury may have healed, but the pain comes back, especially after long days or physical work. Back pain from strain like that doesn't just go away. It becomes something you learn to live with. Despite all that, Serkis said he wouldn't trade the role for anything. He's proud of what they achieved with Gollum, and fans everywhere agree. It was one of the best performances in the trilogy. And while Andy was crawling and climbing in weird poses, Dominic Monahan had a fight with rushing water, and his knee lost. Dominic Monahan, who played Merry, might be one of the more fun and lighthearted characters in The Lord of the Rings, but his experience on set wasn't all fun and games. One of his worst injuries happened during the scene, where Isengard gets flooded. The idea was to film the scene with all the water rushing in, but it was actually pretty dangerous. While filming, Dominic got caught in the current and twisted his knee badly. Turns out he had dislocated his knee, which is a super painful injury.
I was involved in a near-death experience, kind of traumatic.
He was rushed off set and had to take time to recover. But the thing with knee dislocations is, even after the pain goes away, the joint never really feels the same. Dominic has said in interviews that even now, he gets pain in that knee if he walks long distances or puts too much pressure on it. It's been unstable ever since. What's wild is that fans had no idea about this injury while watching the movie. He kept showing up on screen like nothing was wrong, smiling and laughing like Merry always did. But behind the scenes, he was dealing with a serious injury. That sounds rough, but wait till you hear about Merry's partner in crime. Billy Boyd played Pippin, one of the funniest and most lovable characters in The Lord of the Rings. He always looked like he was having fun on screen, but in real life, he had to go through some serious pain. During one of the many stunt scenes in the trilogy, Billy had a bad fall. He landed wrong and ended up tearing the ligaments in his wrist.
It's a painful thing, and it's nothing to be sniggered at, and when he told us, we were, God, are you all right?
Ligaments are what hold your bones together, so when one tears, it's not just a small sprain. It's a big deal. It hurt a lot, and he had to stop filming for a bit to let it heal. But even after recovering, Billy said in a podcast that his wrist has never been the same. He lost some flexibility and said it sometimes still hurts when he does certain things, especially if he's putting pressure on it. It's the kind of injury that doesn't go away completely. And since actors have to do a lot of movement and physical work, having a wrist that randomly flares up is a real problem. What's wild is that you'd never know he was injured while watching the movies. He kept acting, doing stunts, and making people laugh. And for our final story, the battle sounds you loved in the movie? They may have left one actor with hearing damage that changed everything. Bernard Hill played King Theoden, one of the most powerful and emotional characters in The Lord of the Rings. He had those big speeches and massive battle scenes, especially in The Return of the King. But those intense scenes might have done something that changed his life forever. During the filming of one of the major battles, there were a lot of explosions and loud sound effects. Some of them went off really close to Bernard while he was on set. According to people who worked with him, the loud noise actually damaged his hearing. especially in one ear. It was never fully confirmed by Bernard himself, but several crew members have said that after the trilogy, he stopped working on super loud sets. He preferred quieter roles or avoided scenes where explosions were involved. That kind of change usually means there was some lasting issue, probably partial hearing loss. It's sad to think about because actors don't always get protection during loud scenes, and sometimes they're so focused on the performance, they forget about their own safety. Bernard gave everything to his role, and people still remember his powerful performance as Theoden. But behind that greatness might be a hidden cost: his hearing. If you thought these behind-the-scenes stories were crazy, hit that like button and let us know your favorite character in the comments. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome movie facts and untold stories.